All right, what's up, everybody? We are on season 2, episode 10 of Vinland Saga, which is called The Cursed Head. Man, coming off of that last episode, we definitely have a lot to talk about. And I guess that's the thing. I already had sort of started a discussion, yeah, you could say, about the entire message of the show. And I feel like that was the interesting part, is that I watched Vinland Saga season 1, as well as basically leading up all the way to where we are now of season 2 as well, thinking, man, what a great message that the show is giving us, right? Ever since Thor's talked about becoming a true warrior and shearing or staying away from violence and stuff, you can only appreciate and respect that message, I think, obviously, right? But then seeing it put into practice now in a situation where I feel like, and again, I mean, I'm gonna start countering myself here soon as well, so don't get me wrong, but I think it was just, there were two things that got me to start sort of going up against the message of the show, if you will, or at least questioning some of it, right? Is that on one hand, we saw Thorfinn basically being completely guilt-ridden, right? For a situation where I don't feel like it necessarily warranted him to feel that guilty about it, which is punching those retainers. After what the retainers did, it was kind of deserved punishment, as I put it, right? And as I think many people will be able to agree with me on. That's not to say that I'm saying that, like, oh, violence is, you should be resorting to it or something. I'm not saying that it's morally the right thing to do whatsoever. I'm just saying it's also not necessarily morally wrong. That's kind of what I meant to say by it. But I think especially in the back of my head, what it was that got me to not necessarily agree with Thorfinn's guilt about it and everything, is that you had Einar as well, who was a victim of it. And you could look at it as like the retainers there that taking away Einar's freedom. And what Thorfinn did was also a way to protect Einar, right? It wasn't just, again, it's like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, basically all that I meant to say is that, okay, violence can of course also be used for good reasons, I guess, right? At the end of the day, as much as violence in itself, again, I'll stress it out another time, is obviously not a good thing either or something, but it can be used for good reasons, like I said, indirectly. Yeah, that being said, I will say that I myself struggled a lot with this conversation, right? And I was overthinking it in my head the whole time, and I got some comments from people on Patreon. There was one that I got, and honestly, I just wanted to read it because, yeah, that's the best way to do it credit. This one came from Daniel on my Patreon, who said, when I think about this dilemma about no violence, even for protection, I think about Thor's. He took his belief of no violence to the greatest length, to where he even sacrificed his own life to preserve it. And that is what had an impact on both his son and Askeladd. And you can even say Canute, since the priest, hearing about Thor's, impacted him so much, and so he spread that knowledge and belief onto Canute when Canute made his big transition as well. People think, how can you not have violence? What if someone hurts the main character I love so much? Would he just not protect himself? Well, it's selfish for us to stop believing this philosophy only when our main character is going to be hurt. That's also the monk's message about discrimination, where love shouldn't go only as far as the people you love, but for the world as a whole. That's why the show is called Vinland Saga. The main characters are not the essence of the show, it's the message. Vinland is going towards good over evil, even when it means losing someone that you love. And I thought this was very well explained. I guess yeah, I didn't think of it much more than in the limited scope of, like, okay, here's these characters that we're dealing with. And again, I will stress out, it wasn't necessarily about Thorfinn. Don't get me wrong. Like, I fully agree with Thorfinn if he wants to live his life, not, committing any violent acts anymore. That's a great thing. If he is willing to sacrifice literally himself and just accept to basically be killed in a situation where he has no other choice but to resort to violence, I will also respect that. Don't get me wrong. I think, again, it was more about Einar in the situation. That's what I thought about. But even then, that scope is limited, like I said. And it's a very good point that what Thors actually did had a much bigger impact when you think about it. Sure, Thors could have defended himself, killed these couple people, including Askeladd or whatever, right? Well, I don't know. I mean, he did go up against a bunch of people, but knowing Thors, he would have been able to handle himself. But still, he could have done so, but not really a lot would have changed about the world. The world would have stayed the same, right? And that's, I guess, more the overarching, message that the show is trying to bring across of like how change can be realized, I guess, is that it's a very good point that Daniel made here about how like, I mean, we even, I think, saw Askeladd being affected by it. Askeladd never forgot that event. The monk was spreading the word about it, indeed. And that's, just like Daniel said, what gave birth to Canute's rise as well. People talk about it, right? People are permanently changed by something like this. And that's a very interesting thought to think about. But once again, I just feel like it's never black and white, you know? And that's, like, I don't know what I can say that I haven't already said now, I guess. But I'm just saying that I wouldn't have minded either if that, you know, that Thorfinn, went up against these retainers and stuff and just accepted that as like a necessary evil, I guess, right? Again, for protecting Einar's sake as well. It's not to say that Thorfinn has to start resorting to violence in a way where it's more instigated by himself and where it's more, you know, driven by anger and by all the emotions that he felt last time around, right? This was sort of justified punishment, I felt, for what those retainers did to them, and they're trying to take their freedoms away, so why would you let them? But still, you know, I guess right now, at the point in the show where we're at, we're gonna see what this will mean for both characters. Because for Thorfinn, I get it, I guess. For Einar, it's like Einar understood the message, but of course he hasn't gone through the same experience, and so we already saw in his reaction, that he was like, I'll go along with it, I'll support you no matter what, and that was great to see. It's of course highlighting their the friendship that they've built over these past 9 episodes already, which is fantastic. But at the same time, I don't necessarily see him making the same choices when push comes to shove, I guess. But we're all gonna just wait and find out, I guess, guys. So for now, I hope, that you... well, let me know your thoughts in the comments, first and foremost, what you think about this whole situation, because I'm fascinated to hear from you all about, you know, how you feel about it. But that being said, of course, if you enjoy my reactions to Vinland Saga, then the next 4 episodes, if you're watching these on YouTube, will already be available over on my Patreon page, which is going to be linked on top of the description. Over there, we'll be watching the episodes as they air. And so right now, we'll be on episode 14, and you can watch me react to every single episode when they release, like I said. Full-length reactions will be up there too, if you want to see me react to the episodes in their entirety. And then for now, let's dive into episode 10 of Vinland Saga Season 2. Are we back to it? Yep. It's kind of a brand new start for the show. We can really go in any direction from here. Damn, man. I need to start chopping down trees if I can look like that. Both with one arm. Oh. Awesome. Making some real progress. Are the retainers still gonna, you know, ruin it though eventually? Because I guess they just want to have more wheat here, right? Dude, it's been that long?
そこが奴隷のやりきれないとこだな。
この開墾地の次の収穫分で俺たちの自由が買い戻せるってさ。
So we're getting really close, huh?
釣りも来るらしい。
Get some change back. Man, I'm just kind of dreading because it's like something tells me they won't be free that easily, or something's gonna happen.
どうかな。国に帰っても
Yeah.
家族はもういねえし。それに
You're not taking Arnite with you either.
アルネイズさんのことか。
気が引けるよ。お前はトルフィン。やっぱりアイスランドに帰るのか。
そうだな。多分。
なんだおい。ぼんやりしてんな。
お互い様だろ。
I don't know what he would do, to be honest. Like, could he even ever go back? Does he even want to? He's never even brought up his mom anymore and his sister. It's so crazy. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Just so adapted to the lifestyle. It's like, how do you go back to being a free man?
やってみたいことはある。お前はどう思う、エイナル。世の中から戦争と奴隷をなくすことはできないもんかな。
Yeah, he really wants to change the world. Become his own Canute, huh? More like a world leader. How do you do that?
そうだな。夢のようだな。
I guess just traveling the world and spreading the message.
ついに最後の一本をやっつけたな。よくやったぞ、二人とも。種まきが済み次第、お前たち二人は自由の身だ。よく頑張ったな、トルフィン、エイナル。
Completely flabbergasted.
なんだ、あまり嬉しそうじゃないな。あ
Nah, it's just surreal to realize.
おっしゃーなあ、トルフィン、ついにやったな。
やった
ーやすまん、喜ぶのはまだ早い。続きはわしが帰ってくるまで待ってもらうぞ。
あ、お出かけですか。
うん。ところでお前たち、横断難を知らんか？
こちらにはいらしてませんが。
Where is he going? What? He's never coming back or what?
やはり畑だったかもしれんな。
You already know, like something is gonna happen here.
横断難にあったら伝えてくれ。わしはハラルド王陛下のお見舞いに
Visit King Harald.
王宮へ行ってくるとな。だがまあ、種まきまでには戻る。
I'm sure you will.
ああ、そうだ。お前たち、自由身分になったら、このままわしのところで奉公する気はないか？
Yeah, actually, that's not what we're
歓迎だ。
really too eager to do anymore.
考えておきなさい。
That reminds me when I finished my internship and I got asked to come back to work for them. I'm like, I'd rather be a YouTuber instead. I didn't know how quickly I got the fuck out of there. What benefit is there for the worker from that in which he labors? I've seen the task which God has given the sons of mankind. Holy shit. He has also set eternity in their heart without the possibility that mankind will find out the work which God has done from the beginning even to the end. Man, didn't we kind of start off with an intro sequence that was very poetic just like that? Like, I'm talking about the very beginning of Season 2.
失礼します、陛下。本船はじきにイーリングに到着いたします。お目覚めを。
I was gonna say, is it Canute then? Oh, so he's coming to the gathering as well, where his brother is at. Holy shit. Dude, I love the new look, man. I forget, but was this the same place where they actually sold Thorfinn? Probably was.
クヌート陛下。イングランドよりご無事の帰国、お喜び申し上げます。
ウルフよ、兄王陛下のご容体はどうか。
ハラルド陛下のご体調、思わしくございません。この一月はさらに病が進み、今はすでに
Oh shit.
まならぬご様子でございます。
Were we ever told any of that?
もってどれほど
Okay, damn, dude.
手当てのものの申しますには、この数日が峠と。
Oh, is that why they're all gathered here?
世の名代での見舞い、大義であった。
Is it gonna be like a final farewell?
あの玉打ち遊び。子供の自分、兄王陛下はあれの得意な方だった。
Oh god.
よく見ろよ、クヌート。行くぞ。それ。
I don't think we've ever even seen Harald, right?
ラグナル。
Now we're seeing him young. And obviously Ragnar here, I mean you could never mistake the egghead. No disrespect to Ragnar though. He was a great character.
あいつはお前が思ってるよりたくましいよ。だいたいお前も少し過保護だぞ。もう少しお見事です。
Yeah, that's how we raised Canute.
さすがは殿下。本当にお怪我はございませんか。
Participation trophies.
ありがとうラグナル。こんなに着てるから動きづらいんだよ。それに暑いよ。脱いでいい？
なりません。
You need protection.
備えを怠ってはなりません。
兄王陛下にはよく助けていただいた。お礼を申し上げねばな。
What the What? Is he seeing things? He clearly is. Yeah, was that Swain's head? I couldn't even tell, honestly, it went so fast.
スベンの2人の息子たちは父からそれぞれに
Yeah, this is what I was waiting to hear more about.
兄ハラルドはデンマークを、弟のクヌートはイングランドを。関係は良好であった。クヌートのイングランド征服に際し、兄ハラルドは大艦隊を貸与するなど積極的に彼を支援していた。しかしクヌートのイングランド王即位後間もなく、ハラルドは病に倒れる。
クヌート兄様。本当にユリングにいらしてたのね。
He has a sister too?
陛下と呼びなさい、エストリゼ。
急なんですもの。驚いちゃった。
ご無沙汰しておりました。ハラルド。
Oh man. Yeah, he's looking rough.
しばらく滞在する。お話は陛下のお加減の良い時を選ぼう。
Okay, okay. Well, at least he's waking. Oh. Damn, man.
ゆるりとお休みくださいませ。
What does he have?
ことは何も心配はございません。
He's not even that old, but obviously people in these times didn't necessarily live too long. Is yours? Yeah, that's what I figured. Wow. He's gonna give him ultimate control over both territories.
めっそうなことを申されますな、ハラルド。早くお元気になって、また玉打ち遊びにでも興じましょうぞ。
大したものだが、クヌート。よくもそ知らぬ顔でそんな嘘がつけるものだ。
He's hearing things again, right?
自身が毒を持った相手を見舞うか。とんだ茶番だな。それでお前は。
Man, this is what I was wondering all this time. Like, is he responsible?
ハラルドはそなたに好意的であった。なぜ殺す必要？
Wow, dude.
共に世を治めることもできたはずだ。王道楽土のためなどではない。
Why then?
そなたの心には野心が宿っておる。
Really?
海の帝王たらんという野心がな。
The power did get to him a little?
それが呪いだ。王冠の呪いなのだ。逃れられはせぬ。
That's crazy. Oh my god, man, what a... Jesus. It's crazy because Canute does... I mean, he's thinking these things himself, obviously, otherwise he wouldn't be hearing any of this. So he is aware.
急にぼんやりして兄様もご病気なの
He has fallen ill, just in a different way. Apparently.
なんだ
エストリズ様の追いつけでお飲み物をお持ちしました。
それはどこのものか
Yeah, I was gonna say...
はどこと申しますと
いらぬ喉は渇いていない
You know, the moment you start poisoning people, you're never accepting drinks yourself anymore.
自身が毒を用いるからよ。のクヌート。
He keeps seeing it.
昼にも夜が見えるならば、呪いも極まりつつあるということだ。
独り言
いつまでそこにいる用はない去れ楽土建設は国家の統一が前提です。王が二人いてはいずれ災いのも
Utopia, huh?
ハラルド王の死は必要なのです。
一人前の王の考え方をするようになったではないか、クヌー。
I mean, Canute knows deep inside of him that it's wrong, otherwise he wouldn't have the head of Swain here telling him all this.
何を笑う。
スベン王、かつて私はあなたを憎み、死を願った。だが今はどうだ。私が腹を割って話せるのはあなただけだ。仲良うしましょうぞ。呪われた者同士。
行くぞクヌート。
ハラルド。軍議だ。そなたも来い。
はい、父上。強くなるんだ、クヌート。
Man.
俺や父上よりもだ。
It's hard to tell what Harold was like nowadays, but he really didn't seem that bad back then, that's for sure. Not really like his father. Even if he, of course, still was part of that. He was taken in. Unlike Canute.
こんなものか。どうということはない。
So what's the next step, huh? World domination, huh? I guess that's what we're going for next, both when it comes to Canute as well as Thorfinn, although obviously in very different ways, seemingly. But man, this episode, dude, I loved it. I definitely wasn't expecting that second half of it, with focused on Canute and his relationship with Harold. And yeah, all that time I was questioning already, like, how did Harold even get sick like this? Like, there must be something behind it, right? But they were portraying it pretty, you know, like, basic, all the way until there was that confrontation that Canute had literally with Swain's head in the room where we saw it once again. They foreshadowed it already, of course, earlier on, where we saw the head as the kid threw the ball and stuff. So okay, Canute constantly has these visions, which is awesome. Honestly, I love the way that was done. But yeah, then it was revealed to us that it was Canute ultimately responsible for poisoning Harold and stuff, right? And so, like I said, world domination. He wants to create his utopia. That's what he's talking about. But the question is, I mean, that's then what I ask myself. It's like, okay, well, it doesn't seem to be heading in a good direction. You know, like, it doesn't, as much as I talked about, oh, you can use violence for the right reasons, I guess, and they can be justified ways to want to get rid of people. I don't know, man. I get the feeling like Canute is definitely sort of turning into an antagonist then slowly but surely, perhaps, right? Like that's gonna be the question. Is Thorfinn gonna be of a very different mindset from Canute, and is he gonna have to face Canute as an enemy now moving forward, perhaps, right? In his quest to also take over the world and spread a more positive message or whatever. Then again, Canute, he still has his Christianity at heart, right? But it's like, yeah, what does that mean? I mean, there have been plenty of crimes and bad shit that's been committed in the name of Christianity too, of course. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can have a Christian dictator, you can have a dictator who believes in the Norse gods or whatever, but at the end of the day, is it gonna be much of a difference, right? It doesn't matter who you put there. It all depends on what their actions are and what they truly want for the world. But again, it's like it didn't really become clear to me yet what Canute's intentions are then, or what he sees as like this utopia, right? Like, what does that utopia look like? Yeah, I just thought that Canute did have a more positive message before, at least. Which, again, now I'm starting to question that a little bit more. But yeah, man, simultaneously, Thorfinn started, of course, talking a little bit more about his quest or what he sees in front of him now. It's what he and Einar talked about, how, like, yeah, they obviously can't believe that they're about to be free. They won't have to live that prisoner, life anymore, their slave life. But at the same time, that's a little surreal because it's like, okay, what do we do now? And yeah, they start talking about the possibilities and like Thorfinn going, returning to Iceland. Could I see myself doing it? Yeah, maybe. It's so fascinating because, like I said, we have not even heard Thorfinn bring up his mom ever again, his sister. It was, I think, Leif, right? Who actually warned Thorfinn. It might have been at the end of season 1, I think, where they had their confrontation saying like, yeah, your mom is not even doing too well. I bet the next time Thorfinn even goes back, he realizes that she's passed away already or something, right? It's fucking tragic, dude, but it's like, yeah, that's not even on his mind whatsoever anymore. He's just thinking about, well, as we see now, yeah, he wants to change the world, and it's a good thing. Again, he wants to spread that message. He wants to become the next Thor, I guess, and really set forth his quest, which is going to be, yeah, great to see, but man, again, it's a little hard to think about right now, like what that will mean for the show. Like, okay, are we gonna start traveling and going to all kinds of nations and stuff? And I feel like for now, at least, we'll definitely still have Canute to deal with here, right? It's like, okay, I guess England and Denmark will still be they'll play an integral part for the time being. Definitely for the entirety of season 2, perhaps even still beyond that. But it's like, if we go beyond that, then I can see a season 3, and I feel like people said there were probably going to be 4 seasons or something, but a season 3 and 4, I can see us kind of going beyond then, and eventually, of course, hopefully we'll reach Vinland by the final season or something, but first it might turn into a quest around some other nation still or something, right? Yeah, it's gonna be fascinating to see. For now, this episode gave me a lot to think about, I will say that, and I really, really enjoyed it. Even if I wasn't really expecting that direction for Canute as much. And I wonder if he's going to continue to go on that dark path. I mean, he himself realized it's a dark path, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have the head of King Sweyn talking to him there constantly. It's interesting because, of course, he's being told by Sweyn that he's being taken over by the power of the crown and everything. But at the same time, yeah, he couldn't see King Sweyn there if it wasn't all in his own head. So he's thinking about it when you think about it. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed my reaction and review to Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 10. If you did, then of course the next 4 episodes will already be available straight away over my Patreon page, which is going to be linked on top of the description. Over there, we'll be watching the episodes as they air, so you can watch them with me there too. Full-length reactions will be up there. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and then for now, I want to thank you all a lot for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next episode.